now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. So what you wanna do? Get another kilo. You wanna sweat it, but you ain't got no flow. I'm on your TV, kicking up your radio. I'm on your video, mashing up your disco. You know when I come down, I come rough. I need no permission, cause I'm in the right position now. You know when I come down, I come rough. So feel the vibe of the adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush. You know you can't get enough of the adrenaline rush now. You say I'm rude, cause I got an attitude. You better watch out, cause I'm gonna come and get you. It takes a million or more to hold me back. So watch out, world, because I'm on the attack now. You know when I come down, I come rough. I need no permission, cause I'm in the right position now. You know when I come down, I come rough. So feel the vibe of the adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush. You know you can't get enough of the adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush. You know you can't get enough of the adrenaline rush.
Taking the online race broadcast performance to the next level. This is the Full Velocity Network.
Man, if your adrenaline is not pumping now, I don't know what is, but now you have experienced the ultimate esport experience right here on the Full Velocity Network. Good evening, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network tonight, live at the Bristol Motor Speedway, paying a visit to our friends at Full Throttle Sim Racing League. Going to be a great night here. 200 laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway. Super late model competition tonight, and just so excited to have you here as part of FEN's live flag to flag coverage. Thank you out there, everybody in YouTube land, for tuning in. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with Todd Stanton and the Jet Joe Allen, as always, at the controls for us here on FEN. And Todd, what more can we say? The super late models, the Bristol Motor Speedway, watching these guys for the last hour in practice, seeing laps of just, over the 14-second mark. Unbelievably quick times. It's going to be an awesome, fast night here on the Full Velocity Network.
Definitely going to be an awesome time here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. This is another event I've circled on my calendar. It kind of came together here late, but I tell you what, Phil, Bristol Motor Speedway going to be fantastic racing.
Oh, it certainly is going to be awesome night here, Joe, at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's a homecoming for you in ways. You called Full Throttle Sim Racing your home league for a long time, so welcome home, man. Going to be an awesome night.
Absolutely. I haven't seen a lot of these guys in several years, and I look forward to putting on this show for them, coming out here for the Bristol Motor Speedway. The Battle at Bristol 200, the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. Brody Hanna, Brandon Elder, Paul Strickland Jr., all of those guys out there that are a part of getting this thing put on the Full Velocity Network. I'm super excited. Our second show in iRacing. It's going to be a ton of fun. I know the guys are excited to be out here. I know you two are excited to be up in the booth calling this, and I hope the fans enjoy it. It's going to be awesome.
Certainly is, and if you enjoy what you see tonight, find us at our home, FullVelocityNetwork.com. Get your league here live on Full Velocity iRacing, NR2 wherever you're racing out there, wherever you're playing. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to see it. We'd love to showcase it for you. So check out great broadcast rates available, FullVelocityNetwork.com, as we prepare for 200 laps here, Todd, at the Bristol Motor Speedway. These cars are rolling off the grid, so without further ado, Todd, let's dive straight into tonight's starting lineup.
And now your starting lineup for the Battle at the Bristol 200. Starting on the pole, driving the number 06, that's Logan Runyon, and outside of him is Landon Siakta.
Rolling off of row number 2, we find the 62 of Brody Hanna, and to his outside in the 88, that's Marvin Turnmeyer.
Next row back, starting in that fifth starting position, driving the number 87, that's Barry Hines, and outside of him, driving the number 9, that's Levi Poland.
Matthew Almoni will roll off next from position number 7 in car number 24, and rolling off to his outside in the number 67, it's Andrew Packer.
Rolling off from position number 9, driving the number 22, that's Michael Blackner, and outside of him is driving the number 16, that's Adam Edwards.
Rolling off from position number 11 tonight aboard the 94, the RunnerRacer.com motorsports machine, that is Paul Strickland Jr., and to his outside in the number 7, good luck tonight to Abba Slodick.
And last row on the field, driving the number 11, that's Gary Schillen, and his dancing partner to the outside, driving the number 51, that's Brandon Elder.
So there's your full field starting lineup, 200 laps around the Bristol Motor Speedway. You look at some of these lap times these guys put up in qualifying, 14.2s across the board, 14.3. It is going to be an action-packed, high-octane night here, live on Full Velocity. Todd, the pace car is in, green flag is in the air.
Green flag is in the air, and Logan Runyon jumped out really quick in that 06 machine. What a fast guy up through the gears as he left the number 2 in his dust there just a little bit. About 10 car lengths advantage already over that number 2 machine, Phil.
Yeah, the 2, Landon Siaka, that number 2. He's chased it down to about 7 or 8 car lengths, but things happening fast here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, caution flag on the Speedway, yellow flag for the first time tonight, just off the opening lap here. Now 2-3 of 200 going up on the board. Looks like the 24 of Matthew Almoni may be involved here, so give Joe Allen a point of reference here where we can go for the first Full Velocity replay of the night. But happening hot and heavy here, Todd. You got to imagine laps, sub 14, sub 15 second laps here. Things are going to happen fast here at Bristol tonight, and we're going to be on the edge of our toes, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely going to be on the edge of our toes. Kind of in my realm a little bit. There's no dirt on the track, but it is a short track, so I'm kind of used to the fast-paced adrenaline pumping stuff here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But I'm not an asphalt guru like you, Phil. You know a lot about the asphalt stuff and of course these tracks. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here this evening. Who's going to win? The 3-time winner here of this series, not in attendance here tonight, Phil. So it's going to be a different winner here this year.
No, it certainly is. And just looking up and down, talking to Brody Hanna here, talking about our 3-time winner coming into this evening, trying to pull up my points here. Give me a second. Royce Scrivano, 3-time winner this year, so the first 3 races. This is race number 4 of a 9 that make up this season, but we'll talk more about that under this caution flag. Let's go down to Joe Allen, get our first Full Velocity replay of the night.
Absolutely, guys. We're queued up here watching this race. So we're going to focus our attention on the number 24 machine, the 16 of Adam Edwards, and that number 67 machine. We'll throw this thing in slow motion replay. 3 wide down the straightaway. Adam gets on the brakes there to try and give him a little bit of room. It looks like they make some contact down the front straightaway just a little bit. Just making a move down into turn 1 here. And the 24, I believe, after that contact, he's going to get a little bit loose as they come down into turn 1, and that's going to send that 24 machine around into the fence here. We'll see if we can play this thing at full motion replay here. We'll speed it up just a little bit. Yeah, he just gets loose on the top side there, guys. Gets some more contact with the 16 machine. Looks like he's going to spin back up into the traffic, but he ends up saving it there. And a little bit of damage on the left side and the right side for that 24 machine, but nothing, no harm, no foul. He'll go down, throw some fresh 4 tires on it, get the damage repaired just a little bit, and he'll go back out there for another 194 odd laps of action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Lights are out atop the pace car, so one more time around, we'll put these guys back under the green flag. The Full Throttle Sim Racing League Super Late Model Series here tonight. The battle at Bristol 200 here at the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway. Logan running the 06, going to restart with the lead. Landon Siaka, Brody Hanna, Marvin Turnmeyer, Levi Poland, your top 5. Todd, pace car about to make that left-hand turn. Green flag in the air.
Pace car down on pit road, and as quick as that pace car goes down on the pit road, running with a good start, and that 06 machine now out to the lead. The 2 of Siaka sitting in that 2nd spot still. Brody's trying to chase him down, and that number 62 machine running in that 4th position is Marvin Turnmeyer Jr. He is running in that 4th spot, and 5th right now, I believe, is Gary Schilling out there on the speedway in that number 11 machine. So these guys running a little bit around here. Actually, 5th is Andrew Packer in the 67. For some reason, it jumped over him, but Andrew Packer running in that 5th spot.
Andrew Packer is in the 5th spot, as you said, trying to chase this top 5 down. Guys, all kind of sorted out, single file, all over this half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway. Logan running your current race leader. Landon Siaka right there. You know, about a half second between, call that 8 or 9 car lengths as they hit turn number 3. Battle on the racetrack, Todd, looks like maybe happening around for that 3rd spot. Brody Hanna, the 62, is there. The 88 of Marvin Turnmeyer, he's right there about 2 car lengths back. He may look for running room here. Going to look to the high side as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, Turnmeyer running on the top side of the speedway. Two different groups here for the number 62 of Brody Hanna and the number 88 machine of Marvin Turnmeyer. He's trying the top side, but now he's getting run down here by the number 67 of Andrew Packer. Packer running the extreme bottom, and that number 67 machine trying to chase down that 88. 2 car lengths the distance between those two.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you see Packer looking to the low side. Shows how this progressive banking here at the Bristol Motor Speedway work. Plenty of grip for these guys to run the top, can run the bottom, can run the middle, so you're going to see a lot of distinct lines here, but the race is now for that 4th spot. Packer down low to that Turnmeyer machine. White machine of Packer down low, Todd. Looks like he may jump to 4th as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, put Packer into that 4th spot. He is in that number 67 machine. He gets around the number 88. 88 now under heavy pressure from Levi Poland, and contact made between the 67 machine. Looks like 67 got a little bit loose, and the 88, those guys both around, and the 87 just plows into them here towards the end of that. He had nowhere to go, and things happen so fast here at Bristol, and unfortunately, the 87 did not see those 2 cars parked there on the top side, and he ends up going right into them. Black smoke barreling from the number 87 machine, Phil. Tough break for all 3 of those drivers.
Yeah, tough break. Barry Hines of the 87 go piling into that wreck. That car certainly tore up. The 67 of Andrew Packer had a great run of the top 5. His car just completely destroyed, so that puts us under caution flag for the 2nd time tonight. 14 laps in of 200. Joe Allen, I believe you're ready once again with another full velocity replay.
Yes, sir, guys. We're going to focus our attention on that number 67, as you talked about, battling with that 88. We actually had it up on screen as the accident took place. Unfortunate here. Throw this thing in slow motion as they come off a turn 2. The 67, I think, thinks that he has the run to clear the 88. The 88 gets the momentum off the top side, and they just come together right there into the wall just a little bit. We'll back this up off the backstretch one more time. Looks like he just thinks he's cleared, and as he comes up, contact with the left front fender of that number 88 machine sends him up into the fence. And up on 2 wheels, tries the wall ride just a little bit, thinks maybe they have it cleared to standard green conditions. Unfortunately not. They make more contact down into turn 3 here. Tears up that number 67 machine just a little bit, guys, as he backs it up into the fence as well. And as we see later in the frame here, the 87 is going to come down here through the middle of the corner with a full head of steam, and he's going to run right into the 67, give that 67 hard and probably terminal engine damage. I believe the 87 may have a little bit of the same thing as well. So both of those guys parked down on pit road. Unfortunate for those guys so early into this 200 lap event, 18 laps into this thing, two accidents so far. But, you know, everybody's out there running hard, trying to get all the positions they can get. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, and a developing story here, Todd. Our race leader, Logan Runyon, he has elected to come onto pit road, put 4 fresh tires on the 06. We know he's got a fast piece. Now he's going to restart back, in that buzzard's nest. He's going to be currently scored in the 6th spot. Landon Siaka, Brody Hanna, Garrett Schilling, Adam Edwards, Paul Strickland, those guys all electing to stay out. So they're on these older tires versus newer tires here. Got about 2 heat cycles, 15 laps, around, and it looks like Strickland now starting to go in. So more and more guys starting to come on and get these 4 tires. You're going to think in a place like Bristol here, Todd, the high speeds these guys are turning, 2 heat cycles on these tires, you're going to see a little bit of fall off. Coming on to pit road for 4 tires, maybe not be a bad idea this early on.
No, definitely not a bad idea this early on. You got the number 16 machine of Adam Edwards. He did come down on pit road, and so did Paul Strickland Jr. in that number 94 machine. He is also down on pit road electing to get some tires. These guys tiring it up, trying to get out there. Andrew Packer down on pit road. Finally, I believe he's actually able to get out. But I was hearing some tempers flare there, Phil, between this is good old-fashioned short track racing, tempers flaring between drivers. Things happen there, and unfortunately things happen so quick here at Bristol. We got 2 cars out of this event already, Matthew Alamoni and Marvin Turnmeyer Jr., he's also out of this event, so it's a tough break for those drivers. The rest of them involved are trying to get around. We got a few cars that are going to be laps down. Barry Hines, Andrew Packer, also 4 laps down in that number 67 machine. So there's a few guys left out there, some laps down. Lights are out atop the pace car, Phil.
Lights are out atop the pace car. That's going to turn the field and back over to Siaka in that number 2, Landon Siaka. Brody Hanna, the 62, that's going to be your front row. Gary Schilling, Logan Runyon, that's going to be row number 2. Looking back to that 3rd row, you find, I believe that's the 9 car of Levi Poland. Brandon Elder is row 3. Green flag is in the air, and right away, just as we saw, that lead car will pop out of line. That is Siaka, Landon Siaka, the number 2. He's got about 3 car lengths on Brody Hanna as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Hanna down on the bottom side, that number 62 Bojangles sponsored machine down on the bottom side trying to get around Siaka. And that number 2 machine, here comes the 06. He's got fresh tires on that 06 machine. That's Runyon already around, utilizing the top shelf of the Speedway. He's already around into the 2nd spot now. He looks and sets his sights on Siaka and that number 2 machine.
He is right there as Logan Runyon. 4 fresh tires, restarted, I think 4th or 5th. He's right there now in the tire tracks of Landon Siaka, and that number 2 is a hit turn number 3 and 4, both running to the outside of the racetrack, looking like the preferred line, Todd, for these top 3 drivers is up high. First car running the low side looks to be the 9 of Levi Poland. He looks to be committed to the bottom, so great racing action here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Siaka almost playing, devil with that outside wall. Logan Runyon is right there. The question is now with the newer tires, how many laps is it going to be before he gets that run, or will he get that run at all?
Yeah, that's going to be a question that's going to be remaining to be answered here later on in the stages of this event. But Levi Poland now running in that 3rd spot in the number 9 machine. Put Brody into the 4th. 5th right now is the 11 of Gary Schilling. Schilling in the midst of a battle with Blackner in that number 22 machine. Some nice prepared cars out there tonight, Phil, around the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Well, they certainly are. And one thing to pay attention to here tonight, guys, this is open setup racing. So these guys have all the adjustability in the world, during practice to tweak these setups just right. Under, the caution flags, they come onto pit road, make extra added adjustments that, if you're fixed setup racing, you normally won't see. So these guys out here, Landon Siaka, Logan Runyon, the 06, those 2 guys certainly seem to have the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack. Is now maybe a lead change, Todd. The 06 of Runyon, motors are on the outside, so put Logan Runyon back to the lead here with now 29, make it 30 laps coming up on the board.
Yeah, Logan Runyon now into the lead. That puts Siaka back into the 2nd spot. Poland trying to chase them down in the number 9 machine. Heavy battling here throughout the fifth on backfill. These guys have been changing positions now. Put the number 22 machine of Blackner. He is running now in that fifth spot. 6 is Paul Strickland Jr. in that number 94 machine. He's able to move his way up to 6. He's quietly picking his way up through this field in that number 94 machine. And then Adam Edwards running right now in 7th. 8th is Andrew Packer, is a couple laps down, trying to make up some laps. He had a really fast car here early on in the going. He's a couple laps down. He is mired back in 12th, trying to get some laps back. Technically, 8th position would be Gary Schilling in that number 11. 9th would be the 7 of Abyssal Doc. In that number 7 machine, I believe, number 87 machine is Barry Hines. He is running in 11th. He's a couple laps down. Brandon Elder is running in that 10th position. So great, I guess there's a great battle going on, Phil, that I'm missing going throughout the field for that 8th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Great racing here between Abyssal Doc and that number 7 machine. He was able to make his way around the Gary Schilling machine in the 11, so put the 7 car of Ladak up to the 7th spot. But Tadas, as we say that, looking up near the front of the field, race going on for 3rd. Levi Poland in the number 9 is there, but he's got a mirror full of Brody Hanna in the 62. And now move Brody Hanna now up to that 3rd spot as he's hit the low side.
Yeah, Hanna down on the bottom side. Brody Hanna in the number 62 machine, battling back on the low side, but the 9 of Levi Poland not going away on the top side, able to stay in the throttle a little bit longer here. And that number 9 maybe conserving a little bit of tires, but I tell you what, Brody Hanna all over the number 9 is now. He finally competes that pass and goes into that 3rd spot.
Yes, he does. He makes that move work to the low side. But look at the advantage he's going to chase down. We're seeing great racing for 3rd. These top 2 have checked out from the rest of the field. Logan Runyon's out there. He's got a 1.3 second advantage on Landon Siaka in the 2nd spot in the number 2. It's all the way back over 4 seconds to the 62 of Brody Hanna. Close to 5 seconds back, we find Levi Poland. And rounding at your top 5, Michael Blackner in the number 22. He is 10 seconds to the rear, Todd. There is only, as I look at it, 8 cars on the lead lap, and looks like Abyssal Doc, he may fall victim to our race leader, Logan Runyon, who was just laying waste to the field as we put 40 laps up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's fast and furious here tonight. Is Runyon trying to pick up his first win of the season here and trying to put many of these guys a lap down. Less competition, putting these guys a lap down there, Phil, and he's able to run away. Maybe these guys can change their setups. Like we said, it's open setups here tonight. It's going to be fast and furious. Some of these guys are going to make some changes throughout the race. I almost can guarantee that.
Well, looking at the 06 on that car and watching him as a motor away from one of these fields, it reminds me of a good buddy of ours, the Las Vegas lover boy, the Jet, Joe Allen. Joe down there in the booth watching the 06 going around, and we'll put a period on that as caution flag comes on the Speedway. We'll put Joe back to work here as we look for a full velocity replay. We'll talk about that number 6 and the meaning of to Joe Allen as we talk about that at the Bristol Motor Speedway, but certainly not the caution flag that Logan Runyon did not want to see as he was starting to just move away and distance himself from the field. But now with this caution flag, 6, maybe 7 cars on the lead lap. Looks like issues there, maybe around the 9 car of Levi Poland, which is certainly too bad, Todd. He was running amongst the top 5, looking like something going awry there in the 9 camp.
Yeah, something definitely awry is heavy smoke pouring out of his car there as they took it down to pit road. So hopefully he can get most of that changed here and be able to get back out there. But he's going to be a few laps down by the time he gets back out there. Leader's down on pit road, Phil. The 06 is down on pit road. The 2, the 62, all of them down on pit road to get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. But I'm going to throw it down to Joey the Jet. Joe Allen down there with a replay.
Yes, sir, guys. We are going to focus our attention on that number 9 machine of Logan Poland, that number 11 machine here. Going down into turn 3 here. We'll throw this thing in full motion replay. It gets a little bit loose up here. We will slow it down just a little bit as he comes through the corner, gets loose up on the top side, tries to save it, comes down. A little bit of contact with the 11 as he came across his nose, hard into the inside wall. Heavy damage. We see the trail of black smoke as he bounces off the wall there. We'll back this up for you guys real quick to take a look at. But just, you know, a little bit of issues there with the 9 machine, unfortunately. Enough of contact on the inside wall there to heavily hurt that motor as he hit the inside wall. So we'll get ourselves back up off of turn 2 here for you guys to watch this in slow motion again as he comes down the corner here. just gets loose, a little bit of contact with the 11. The 11 tries to check up and give him some room, but he already had his nose pointed down towards the inside wall, guys. He's just along for the ride at that point. So unfortunate for that number 9 machine, having a good run out there, just logging laps in this long race of attrition, really, and unfortunately, looks like his night may come to an end just a little bit earlier with some heavy damage. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, the story there is talking about black smoke. We're looking at tire smoke with that white smoke, Todd. Sometimes okay at a place like a Bristol, but black smoke, I don't care what racetrack you're at. If you're at a short track like a Bristol, you're at a big super speedway like a Daytona. I mean, black smoke, never a good thing. And looks like the 9 car, his car may be hurt, and looks like it may be terminal. Levi Poland's night, that number 9, his night looks to be over.
Yeah, his night is indeed over. He's behind the wall. Levi Poland having a good run. Barry Hines also done for the evening in that number 87 machine. He made contact here early on in this event early on in the first 15 or so laps of the stages of this event here, early stages of this event, I should say. And a tough break for Barry Hines and Levi Poland. Those guys both out attrition here. And that's always the name of the game at Bristol. You got to stay alive here at Bristol. It's the blender. Things happen so quick, and damages to your cars can be not repairable, Phil. It's just the black smoke is never a good sign. Like you said, you go to a super speedway, you go to a short track, it's never what you want to see out there on the speedway.
Now, with the ultra speeds these guys are turning at Bristol here tonight, any kind of contact made 2 cars, you got to think it's going to hurt the car at some point, as far as body work, maybe engine, as we saw the 9 there, terminal motor damage, going to put him behind the wall. So we'll reset and recap here. The 94 of Paul Strickland on this current caution flag, he's elected to stay out, so put Paul Strickland to the race lead. Brody Hanna currently second. Landon Siaka, Michael Blackner, Adam Edwards, your current top 5. Logan Runyon is 6th. Abbas Ladak will restart 7th. Last car on the lead lap is Todd. Green flag in the air.
Yeah, the car is fired there, and Paul Strickland Jr. down to the bottom side, number 94. Here comes the Bojangles sponsor machine. That's Brody Hanna. Hanna on the top side, going to make short work of the number 94 of Paul Strickland Jr. Here comes Siaka in that number 2 machine. He's running in that 2nd spot. He's trying to chase down Brody Hanna and trying to get around him. He's trying to put himself some distance between himself and maybe Logan Runyon, but Runyon already up to 3rd in that 06 machine. He's been a man on the mission. He's been the guy to beat here at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, side by side for the race lead through turns number 1 and 2. Siaka down low in the 2. Hanna stuck up high. He's going to relinquish the lead. Now he's going to be under fire for 2nd. Logan running to the low side. New tires certainly playing off for these guys up front. Not so much for Paul Strickland, 97 there, Todd. He restarted with the lead, but those older tires, he's dropped all the way back to 5th, and he is fading fast. It's frantic racing for these guys in the top 4. Siaka trying to pull away. Logan Runyon, he's been the fastest car out here all night. He's not going to let him do that.
No, definitely not. As Brody Hanna also falls back to that 3rd spot in the number 62 machine. These guys setting a pretty torrid pace here around the Bristol Motor Speedway. Siaka trying to run away and hide, like you said, Phil. About 4 or 5 car lengths between himself and Runyon in that 06 machine.
Yeah, 4 or 5 car lengths between our race leaders. In our 3rd place there, Brody Hanna. Runyon starting to chase this interval down just a little bit at a time. It's down to about 3 car lengths here. This time through turns number 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. Call that 3 car lengths as they hit turn number 1. Both drivers glued to the outside of the racetrack, but as we say that, as they hit 3 once again there, Todd, Runyon's chased that down to 2 car lengths, so before too long, probably about a lap or 2 in my guess, we're going to see another battle again for that lead. Runyon looking to be the faster of the 2 cars.
Yeah, Runyon definitely the faster of the 2 cars. They're clicking off laps, logging off laps, now down to a car length and a half, as it looks like Siaka in that number 2 machine drifts up, almost hits that wall there in those corners, and the 06 just seems to have a little bit better entry and exit in that 06 is Runyon. He is now down to a car length. Now a battle for the lead is staging up here. Runyon down to the bottom side. Siaka hits the wall just a little bit. He scrapes it. You see sparks flying. Now put Runyon to the lead. Siaka to 2nd.
Siaka now back to 2nd. Logan Runyon, where he's been for the majority of these first 55 laps, he's once again going to assert himself as our race leader. See if he can't pull away this time from Landon Siaka. Those 2 drivers pulling away from the rest of this field. Brody Hanna currently 3rd in that number 62, 1.6 seconds back last time around. Almost 4 seconds back to our 4th place runner, Adam Edwards, in that number 16. Paul Strickland, he stayed out that last time around. Over 5 seconds in the rears there, currently in the 5th spot. Two drivers other left on the lead lap. Michael Blackner in the number 22. Abislatic in that number 7, currently 7th. Those 7 drivers all on the lead lap, but chasing a frantic pace being put on by Logan Runyon, Landon Siaka. Runyon starting to pull away there, Todd. Siaka, he's got a fast car, but Runyon just looks to be the dominant of the entire field right now.
As you say, Runyon is attempting to pull away. It looks like Siaka closing the gap, and that number 2 machine, he looks like he's found something just a little bit there, Phil, up towards that wall. Looks like Siaka now down to about half a car length between himself and the 06 of Runyon. So this is going to shape up to be a pretty decent battlefield here later in the going. Maybe Siaka's got a car for a long run this time about. Remember, these guys did take some pit stops here during this most recent yellow flag, so we'll have to wait and see if Siaka has got something for Runyon here later on in the going.
They're going to flash by the lap car of Gary Schilling. Gary now will be 2 laps down, currently in the 8th position. He's the first car, not on the lead lap, so he's going to go out there and parade laps and try to gobble all the points he can. This is a points-paying race for the Full Throttle Sim Racing League Super Late Model Series double points night here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So, our current, series point leader, which is Royce Scavano, that he was a three-time winner this season. Won all 3 of the first races of this series, Todd. This being only race number 4. Double points night, point leader not here. That's going to open the door for guys like Brody Hanna, who currently sits second in the point standings. Guys like Adam Edwards, they're all there as well as I get these standings in front of me. Brandon Elder currently 3rd in the standings, 37 points behind. So these guys, maybe with double points night, these guys going to gain on Royce Scavano, who is not here this evening, 3-time winner. Was certainly looking forward here, looking down the listings earlier this afternoon of what the information these guys at Full Throttle gave us here this evening. Was hoping to see Royce out on the Speedway tonight, a 3-time winner. You wanted to see how he'd stack out on a broadcast at a place like a Bristol. Unfortunately, not able to be here tonight, and that's allowing all these guys to gobble up precious points. And being a short track guy, you can appreciate the love for a double points night.
Yeah, definitely. Got some of those up and coming here in the local dirt tracks in the Northeast. Those double points nights can be very, very crucial to your championship hopes here. A little bit of background on Logan Runyon. Runyon's been racing in real life since the age of 9. Currently runs the 2017 ARCA Super Series at Kick Care Speedway. He's from Cambridge, Ohio. Logan Runyon in that 06 machine, pulling a little bit of double duty here tonight, racing in the simulation here. iRacing is the simulation that we are using here this evening around the Bristol Motor Speedway. And Logan Runyon, running in that top spot. Siaka sitting in that 2nd spot. He's not letting Logan get away. Logan a little bit tail happy coming off that corner. Now 06 machine, that's going to allow the number 2 to close up the gap just a little bit as they catch to the 94. Paul Strickland Jr. going to put him a lap down. Look how fast these newer tires versus Strickland's older tires. Look how much faster these guys are, Phil.
Well, they're certainly flying around this place. I believe that's going to put I'm going to call that unofficially 4 cars on the lead lap, letting timing and scoring all catch up here. Looks like Michael Blackner, he's currently 5th, so he's the last driver on the lead lap, but he is not too far ahead of our racer, Logan Runyon. He's actually the next car in line, slated to go a lap down. Next car on the racetrack, he's got about a full straightaway from these guys, but they are coming at a tremendously fast clip. 5 cars left on the lead lap, currently all racing against Logan Runyon, your race leader. Landon Siaka currently 2nd. I'm going to spotlight the driver currently running in the 3rd spot, Brody Hanna, the Suave Men sponsored machine. Brody from Greenville, South Carolina. The best finish this season came at South Boston Speedway, where he finished that 2nd spot, currently in the 2nd place in the point standings on the strength of 2 top 5 finishes. Brody started competitive league racing back in NASCAR Heat for PC, so that goes back a long way, dating these guys a little bit, but that's just a little bit of update on Brody Hanna. Somebody, I believe, Joe Allen, you go a long way back here to the days of FTRL.
Absolutely. I started my sim racing career back in 2007 when I was a little itty-bitty 12-year-old, and FTSR, back when they were running in the NR 2003 simulation that we're so accustomed to broadcasting for, is the very first league I ever participated in. So guys like Brody Hanna, Adam Edwards. I used to be teammates with Michael Blackner, Paul Strickland Jr. obviously, well known in the iRacing community with Steve Lovender for Vidane Racing and Xlander Design. So just a bunch of these guys that I'm very familiar with. It's like a homecoming. Brandon Elder obviously out there. He's a staple still in the NR 2003 community with Rob Hayden over at the garage, backyard garage sim racing. So a lot of these guys, as you said, it's a homecoming for me. I've known these guys for years and years and years, and you know, they went on a little bit of a hiatus for several years, but I'm glad to see that they're back out here, you know, doing what they have to do to transition over into a new simulation. And I'm so glad that they're having a good amount of success here. That's awesome to see that, and I can't wait to come out here and race with these guys myself.
Yeah, it certainly looks like this Super Late Model Series is certainly a very, very competitive series here as Logan Runyon starting to run through these guys, Todd, putting more and more guys a lap down. Had a great battle out there for that fourth spot between Adam Edwards and Michael Blackner happening. Edwards got a little bit loose out in front of the race leader. Blackner not so much. He's clinging to the lead lap, as we say that. Now Landon Siaka, contact out there. Around goes the 2-car. He's into the inside wall. Contact with the lap car of Adam Edwards. That's going to put us under caution flag once again, Todd. And it's just one of those things, you know, when you're racing around lap cars, especially at a place like Bristol, anything can happen. Unfortunately for Landon Siaka, contact puts him in the inside wall. You're going to hope that car's not hurt too bad. He looked like our best contender for Logan Runyon out there.
Yeah, hopefully Siaka can get the car repaired. But a guy that's smiling ear to ear, I bet you grinning ear to ear, is Michael Blackner. Blackner about ready to go one lap down to the leader. He was running in that fourth spot. He was about ready to go a lap down, and he catches this yellow flag just at the right moment. He's still going to remain himself on that lead lap right now, currently running in that fourth spot. So it's good good to see Michael Blackner able to hold on to the lead lap. But I'm going to throw it down to Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, for another replay here on the Full Velocity Network.
Absolutely, guys. We're going to throw this thing back down to replay. We're going to focus our attention on the number 2 of Logan Siaka and that number 16 machine of Adam Edwards. We'll play this thing and fast forward here as they go down through turns 3 and 4. We'll slow it down. Logan just a little bit loose through the corner there. He's going to come down off the nose of the 16. Contact there between the two guys is going to send him back down into the inside wall here. Hits it with the rear end of the car. Luckily, he doesn't nose it down into the fence. Nothing with the left or right side of the car either. Definitely rear end damage is going to hurt him a little bit, but he would have been far worse off if he would have nosed it down into the inside wall like we've seen a lot of these guys do when they've gotten loose up on the racetrack. So very fortunate for him that he doesn't do that. He'll be able to go down, repair that damage a little bit. He may still be a contender, but he may not be as big of a contender as we thought he was before this accident happened. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, it's one of those things here at Bristol Air, Todd. You make contact, you go around, you hit any of these walls at this high rate of speed, just exactly like Landon was doing. A little bit of nose contact with the inside wall. You know, obviously, the body work, you know, got to be tore up a little bit. You worry about the engine, the revolutions these guys are turning at these speeds. You hope that engine isn't hurt because that car's certainly fast here tonight.
Yeah, certainly is fast. What is he going to have to change down on pit road? As he's down on pit road trying to get his repairs done, as he was trying to get some repairs done. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen to that number 2 machine and see how fast he's actually going to be. And it's tough to see a situation like that because things just happen so quick and fast here. And these guys are putting down some wicked fast lap times. And this is a car that I have never drove on, Phil. But they're saying it's a lot lighter than the original late model here that came with iRacing. It's indeed probably faster because it is super. It's not a late model. It's actually a super late model. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot faster than the regular late model, as they were saying. So it'd be interesting to maybe get out in one of these. I'd probably hit the wall more than these guys do. So.
I guarantee I would as well. But these things certainly look fun to drive as we get ready for the restart. We quickly start approaching the halfway marker. Looks like it is going to be Brody Hanna, the 62. I don't think he didn't come to pit road this time, so it looks like he may restart as our race leader. Second spot appears to be Landon Siaka. He's going to restart second off the contact, so we'll certainly see what he's got left for as far as the race car goes. Michael Blackner, Logan Runyon, Paul Strickland, Abbas Laddick going to restart in that 6th spot. He is currently 1 lap down. Not exactly sure how the lucky dog procedure here, if they have one for this series or not, but currently 5 drivers sitting on the lead lap. And as we await the restart, 87 of 200 on the board. Hope everybody out there in YouTube land is enjoying this here this evening just as much as we are bringing this to you. the battle at Bristol 200 for our friends of the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. The league that's, as Joe said, been around a long time, just made their foray into the iRacing world not too long ago. And as we say that, Todd, green flag racing once again. These guys back at it here, approaching the halfway mark.
Yeah, approaching the halfway mark right now. Brody Hanna out in the lead in that number 62. He put the loud pedal down on the restart. He's got about a 2-car length, 3-car length advantage over Siaka, Landon Siaka in that number 2 machine. Does not look like it's hurt him that much there, Phil, as he's able to still run the extreme top side of the Speedway in that number 2, trying to look for a way around Brody right now down to the bottom side. Looks like Siaka going to be able to pull off the pass, almost like a slide job maneuver here on the Bristol Motor Speedway, but he's now to the lead. Put Siaka to the lead, put Brody back to second. 22 of Michael Blackner is running in that 3rd spot, so a savior there from the last yellow flag there from going a lap down and now running in the 3rd spot. We're going to take a look back and see where that 06 machine is. I'm not sure where he is there, Phil.
Logan Runyon currently on, scored 1 lap down, so maybe some issues happening there aboard the 06 that we're not too aware of. We'll see if we can't maybe chase down that story. But Logan Runyon with the fastest car on the racetrack. Now he's currently 1 lap down there, Todd, currently in that 7th position. So issues happening there. Not sure if there was some kind of penalty. I think he may have rolled past a pace car here under the caution flag coming down pit road. So maybe something happening there. We'll see if we can't chase down that story. But certainly a developing situation. Now 4 drivers left on the lead lap. The fastest car we saw here all night is going to have to chase these guys down from 1 full lap down. That may be tough to do.
Yeah, it may be tough to do here. We're almost halfway there, Phil. We're 6 laps from halfway as we're lap 94 here, or pretty close to 94. Let me see here. I believe it's lap 96, excuse me, of 200. So these guys, he's got about 100 laps to do it, Phil. If anybody can do it, the 06 machine might be able to pull off that, as Runyon's been the fastest car here all evening long. But Paul Strickland now running in that 4th spot. Remember, he was a lap down here. He just won a lap down to the leaders here before that yellow flag came out, so I believe he got his lap back. He is the last car on the lead lap in that number 94 machine.
Yeah, Paul Strickland coming to us from East Haddam, Connecticut, not too far from me. Best finish this season, 5th at the South Boston Speedway. Started racing in NASCAR Heat, joined FTSR in 2007, then left to co-found the racing league, Vidane Racing League. So Paul Strickland been around a long time up in the Northeast. No, he's heavily involved with rent a race car. You can buy your own, stock car and race tonight. I know we do a lot of work at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Saw the rent a race car group there many years ago when I was working up there. So those guys still at it. You can lease a night out on a race car. Cool experience. So Paul Strickland out there in the number 94, having a great run, as Todd said, able to hold on to the lead lap, currently 4th on the Speedway.
We go from guys that have been racing here in FTSR for quite a long time to Andrew Packer in that number 67 machine. This is his first race here with FTSR from Niagara Falls, Canada. He painted this car especially for this event in that number 67 machine. So Andrew Packer making his first ever appearance here for FTSR and his first ever appearance here on the Full Velocity Network. So 2 firsts here in the same night for that number 67 machine.
Also making his first appearance here on Full Velocity, somebody Joe knows real well from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, driver of the number 22, Michael Blackner. Started racing in the NASCAR Heat in 2006, a longtime FTSR member since way back in 2008. Michael Blackner, the 22, currently in that 3rd spot, 4 seconds off our race leader, Landon Siaka, who is just turning, laps around this place that are just wearing out this field. He's got a 1.5 second advantage on Brody Hanna, now past the halfway marker, 105 of 200 laps on the board. 4 drivers left on a lead lap, but you got to imagine this may shrink down even more. Landon Siaka, that number 2, is putting a torrid pace here tonight at Bristol.
Yeah, he's definitely putting in a torrid pace here. I'm looking up through this to see where that 06 is. He's running right around the number 7 machine. Who is in position number 6. So 06 starting to make up some ground here. Now battling with Adam Edwards, who is running in that 5th spot. So that's going to put him, I believe, up to 6th right now in the 06 is Logan Runyon. Runyon now going to move up to 5th around the number 16 machine of Adam Edwards. Edwards now drops back to 6th, so Logan Runyon picking his way up through the field. Still a lap down, though, in that 06 machine. He's got a long way to go around here to get that lap back.
Yeah, let me ask Joe this now. We tried this before the caution came out. That 06 of Logan Runyon, we know the 06, Joe, anybody who drives that number has to be fast, but we know he was the fastest driver out here at Bristol tonight. A pit road penalty putting 1 lap in the rear, that's a lot of time to lose here at Bristol. With a car as fast as he's got, does he have any chance from here, if this thing stays green a while, to maybe run these guys down and maybe contend for a win once again? I know in 06, Joe, it's got to be fast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think as these guys continue to log laps here, I think we're probably on our longest green flag run of the event so far. And that number 06 of Logan has been, you know, arguably the fastest guy on the track all night, as you guys covered. So I think he's actually running down the leaders here as well in that 06 machine. He's pulled away from them. I know he was the last car in front of the leader at one point, and now he's just weaving his way through traffic. So I think if this thing stays green just long enough, he may be able to catch that number 2 machine of Landon Siaka and put himself on the tail end of the lead lap. And if he catches a lucky break with a caution, he'll be able to put himself back onto the lead lap here if need be. So I wouldn't count out that 06 machine just yet. He's got a little bit left in him, and we'll see if maybe he can get up there. And it's going to be a battle, that's for sure. He's got a long ways to go, but you know, with how fast his car was, I think he's more than capable of doing it.
Well, as we work 114 laps here at the Battle at Bristol 200 here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, let's see if we can't do our first full field rundown of the evening, sponsored by your friends at the Full Velocity Network. It is Landon Siaka, currently your race leader. Brody Hanna, the 62, currently second. Michael Blackner, third. Paul Strickland is fourth, the last driver on the lead lap. Logan Runyon, the 06, he is rebounded now back into the top 5, 1 lap down. Adam Edwards in the 16, currently sixth. Abbas Laddick, he is 2 laps down, currently seventh. Eighth, we find Andrew Packer in that number 67. Ninth, looks like those 8 cars, there are only 8 left on the racetrack. Ninth, Gary Schilling, he's behind the wall. His night is going to be done, as is Brandon Elder, the 51. Levi Poland in the number 9, his evening also done. He behind the wall with engine trouble after an accident. Barry Hines, the 87, he's also pulled behind the wall. He'll finish 12th. Marvin Turnmeyer will finish up 13th. And rounding out our field here tonight, Matthew Almoni, that number 24, was looking forward to seeing the Rainbow Warrior Jeff Gordon lookalike number 24 out there, but unfortunately issues early on putting him out of this race. He'll finish up 14th on the field. That is your full field rundown for the Battle at Bristol 200 from our friends at Full Throttle Sim Racing League, courtesy of the Full Velocity Network there, Todd. These laps starting to click off awfully fast. 119 up on the board, and it's been the story of the race here. Landon Siaka, you know, with that, the benefit of the penalty to Logan Runyon, the fastest car on the racetrack. He's put about 2 seconds between himself and second place Brody Hanna as they hit turn 1.
Yeah, definitely put about 1.781 seconds between himself and Brody Hanna. As Hanna right now running in that second spot. Third is Blackner, as Paul Strickland Jr. now down a lap. 3 cars left on the lead lap there, Phil. I'm looking down and up and down and trying to get some of these guys some limelight here. The number 16 of Adam Edwards, he was out there. He's from Council Bluffs, I believe that's Iowa. Best finish is third at South Boston. He consistently gains speed throughout the season. He enjoys live streaming races and other games, so another live streamer here, sponsored by KTM Alpine Stars, and tonight Fanatic in that number 16 machine. He's going around the speedway though. But I gotta give a shout out to that YouTube chat box. It's been kind of quiet here tonight. I see a lot of those guys down there. Michael Massey out there, HB Hardy, Visual 1677. There's quite a few different guys out there, Phil, and I would like to see what these guys think. I see Mike Massey made a comment to what these cars are about. They're fast, light, and sticky, and that's something that's a pretty good observation for these cars, is that they're really fast out there, and I can see where that they're sticking to the track. You don't see these guys get as much tail happy as some of the other cars that I've drove here in this simulation. I'm a big dirt fanatic, so I like to get sideways, but these cars seem pretty sticky out there on the speedway. These guys handle them really, really well, Phil, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Also interesting to see what's going to happen here. I think we're about to see the race for the 4th spot start to heat up, as now 3 cars have found their way onto the lead lap. The battle going to be for that 4th spot. Those cars 1 lap down. Paul Strickland Jr., that number 94. Logan Runyon, the 06, trying to rebound for 1 lap down. He is now all over the back bumper of the Paul Strickland machine. Logan Runyon down low. Put Runyon now up to that 4th spot. 1 lap down there, Todd, but he is still charging as they work their way down the front stretch.
Yeah, still making something of it is Runyon. And that number 06 machine trying to work his way up to the race leaders and try to get his lap back the hard way there, Phil. So we're going to keep on the progress of that 06 of Logan Runyon and see how fast he can actually get around the leader here. As I'm just looking around the speedway as these guys are lightning fast, just trying to keep up with that 06 machine as he's running way up next to the wall there, Phil. I almost asked Phil or Joe if we can get a ride along with one of these guys, maybe in car, just to see how these guys handle this.
Yeah, I think we can absolutely do something like that, guys. Let's say we ride along with our race leader, the number 2 of Landon Siaka. We'll go, you guys want to do gyro? Let's do gyro cam. Gyro cam at Bristol Motor Speedway would be a little bit interesting. You can see the banking transition from these cars. So, guys, I'm going to throw it back up to you guys. We'll ride along in gyro cam with our race leader, the number 2 of Landon Siaka.
Yeah, he's laying waste to this field here. Todd is now 132 of 200 laps on the board, so laps starting to click down as these guys running sub 15-second laps as the tires start to burn off these guys. 3 cars left in a lead lap. Landon Siaka, our leader. 2.1 seconds back last time around. Brody Hanna, the 62, the Bojangles machine. Michael Blackner, he's 6 seconds in the rear. He's the only driver left on the lead lap. So 3 of the 8 drivers left to the Speedway currently on that lead marker. Runyon currently 4th. Paul Strickland is now 2 laps down in 5th. Adam Edwards is 6th. He is also 2 laps down now. And Abbas Laddick currently 7th. Looks like 7 drivers left on the racetrack as Andrew Packer looks like his night. The 67 is done. He's brought that machine to pit road. So 7 drivers left on the racetrack. Bristol is a racetrack. Usually through the years, Todd, we see attrition play a role. And no doubt once again for our friends at Full Throttle tonight, attrition certainly stacking up. 7 cars of 14 left on the racetrack. 3 of them remain on the lead lap. The question is, can Logan Runyon chase these guys down to get back to the lead lap, or can anybody do anything whatsoever with Landon Siaka?
Right now, Siaka's got a commanding lead, 2.378 seconds over Brody Hanna and that number 62 machine, and another 6.531 back to Michael Blackner and that number 22 machine. So it's a pretty commanding lead here for Siaka and the number 2 machine. Just trying to look. I wish I could get a lap time here on the 06 machine as he's troubling around here around the Speedway, and the 06 is just not able to do so here with my lifetime in his scoring. But it's interesting to see how just much faster he is than the race leader right now.
Well, it looks like it is stabilized between the 2 of them as, Logan Runyon looks to be about a half a track ahead of our current race leader, Landon Siaka. So he's still 1 lap down, looking like he's not gaining the time we thought he was. So, he's a full lap and a half behind. So it's going to be a long road to hoe from here. 140 laps, so 60 laps remaining here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We have seen 4 caution flags, but it looks like at this juncture, nobody at all can touch Landon Siaka's car, that number 2. He is on a rail. He has now a 2.3 second lead, so that's starting to stretch out from Brody Hanna a little bit. These 7 drivers is just spread out all over the racetrack, looking at the 16 car of Adam Edwards going down now, another lap in the rear, so he'll be 2 laps down. So as these guys start to click off laps, at least 7 on the racetrack, the race leader at this torrid pace, all 3 of these guys in the top 3 currently, these guys all running competitive laps, as is 4th place Logan Runyon, who is 1 lap down. But I'm just amazed, Todd. These guys are just so fast out here. This track looks like to have a tremendous amount of good grip, especially in the outside of the racetrack. You look at, Siaka, he's been up in the high lane all night long. And how much of dirt terminology can you bring into a night like this there, Todd? All the way up against the wall, I almost could think that the words jumping the cushion could come to mind. How delicate it is a place like Bristol here, especially on pavement.
Well, it's going to be a little bit delicate. Usually there's marbles up there, but not here this evening. There's no marbles from the tires up there. These guys running pretty close to that wall. You can almost see sparks fly, like off of Siaka's car. When he gets up close to the wall, you can see scrub marks up and down the right side of his car. And that number 2 machine, it's different to see what's going to happen with these guys. So it's different versus my dirt terminology. But that you're pushing the cushion kind of ordeal. You're jumping the cushion, you're pushing the cushion. If you're way up on the top side, that would be, that would be the terminology for dirt here. And Siaka right now just using that top group to his advantage over the rest of the field. Looks like the number 894 machine of Paul Strickland Jr. coming down the pit road, maybe to get some tires in service, as he was going down another lap, Phil, in that number 94.
Yeah, Strickland going down another lap there in the 94. Paul out there currently in that 6th spot, 3 laps down in the rears. The question I have, Joe Allen, the laps these guys are turning, I'm not sure what they're getting as far as fuel burn off here tonight. You think these guys may have to come to pit road one more time, especially our race leaders out there turning the pace they're turning?
I talked to race director Brody Hanna a little bit earlier on what our pit fuel window looked like, and the unique thing with iRacing that's a lot different from some of the other simulations we're used to is you actually can select the amount of fuel that you want to put into your setup when you build it. So we were talking earlier, a full tank of fuel in these cars in an open setup race like this would get them 160 to 170 laps on fuel. So it was all, really dependent on what a driver decided they wanted to do with their setup. Did they want to fill it full of fuel? Did they want to take a little bit of fuel out of it to help with the speed and kind of play the tire strategy game, which will also come into effect. I think more so we're thinking about tire wear and tire management than we are fuel. So I'm not entirely sure if that 2 car can make it on fuel or not. It depends on how much he put into the car when he was building the setup. So he may have to come down for fuel, but I think more so these guys are going to come down for tires before they come down for fuel.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assumption there, that the tires may burn off a little bit. As you see, fresh tires, little 16 of Adam Edwards, able to scoot right on by that Landon Siaka car. So that just gives you a little bit of glimpse there. Lap cars with fresh tires versus the race leaders out there with these used tires, Todd. How much time do you think these guys can afford? We know Siaka with only 3 on the lead lap. He's got a nice lead out there built up. It's well close to 4 seconds last time around. 45 laps remaining. Can you play conservative out there on tires at a place like Bristol? And you think it's in the back of his mind that we get to save a little bit, maybe take this thing home with these current tires we have on it?
Well, I would like to go down and get some tires, but a lot of these guys probably pretty good at saving tires. I don't think they're going to lose enough time where they're going to be in trouble. Strickland all kinds out of shape, and he's spinning down here on the apron. I wonder if that's going to bring out a yellow flag as he's facing the wrong way here. Yellow flag is indeed going to fly there, Phil. There's a break. Some of these guys needed.
Oh, it certainly is. Is it a break for a guy like Logan Runyon? Does that put him back to the lead lap? I'm going to have to see if we get clarification of how these lucky dog rules may work, or it's going to help guys like Brody Hanna, Michael Blackner, and the rest of the cars on the lead lap. Let them guys come down, get 4 fresh tires. You got to imagine Landon Siaka is going to put 4 tires on it. But what kind of adjustments do you think these guys can make, Todd? Do a short run here. Going to have just about inside 40 laps remaining. What do you think they can make for adjustments to go flying here at Bristol to maybe run that 2 car down?
I'm not 100% sure what kind of adjustments he's going to have to make. I'm not an open setup guru, but they're going to have to do something. Maybe throw some tape on that. It's kind of late in the run. I'm not sure what downforce will happen with some of these cars. They're not getting no time out there. So, it's kind of a guessing game for me. And I'm sure it's a guessing game for some of these guys. They're very well versed here, probably in the open setups. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. Joe Allen, who is our replay, queued up and ready.
Yes, sir, guys. We're going to focus our attention on that number 94, Paul Strickland Jr. here, coming down through the corner here. No problems off of turn 4, but as he gets down into turn 1 here, gets just a little bit loose. We'll throw this thing down in slow motion replay. Loose, loose, loose through the center of the corner here. It looks like he might have had this saved as he came off the corner. I thought maybe he was able to get it under control here as he got down onto the apron. Makes a little bit of contact with the inside wall, and it looks like he just overcorrects just a little too much, and that's going to end up spinning him back up into the race surface, up in front of that lead lap car, almost that number 22 of Michael Blackner. So luckily, none of our leaders that were still on the lead lap were involved in that, but looks like he just went up onto the racing surface just enough that the the officials here decided they needed to throw that caution, and that's a break for our top three. That'll get everybody bunched back up, try to make some last-minute adjustments, and see if anybody has anything for that number 2 machine of Landon Siaka this evening. So back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, yeah. Does anybody have anything left for Landon Siaka in that number 2? We know where the guys in the lead lap sit. Does this put the race back in, say, a Logan Runyon's hands? Can he make the run here if he can get maybe a lap back the hard way, maybe get a quick caution flag? What's going to happen? So looks like he does got his lap back, so that may put the fastest car we've seen through the first 75 laps or so back onto the lead lap. Maybe not what Landon Siaka wanted to see. If Logan Runyon's back on the lead lap there, Todd, the complexion of this race has completely changed.
No, I thought he was going to be back on the lead lap. Indeed, I'm wrong there. Sorry for the misinformation. He is still 1 lap down here in that 06 machine. I'm not sure if they score a lucky dog or what goes on here there, Phil. But if we can get around the leader and get another quick yellow, that would be beneficial. But I'm not sure if they have a lucky dog or not.
Trying to get that clarification myself up here in the broadcast. So I was trying to just go back and get some information on this league here. FTSR.com is the home of Full Throttle Sim Racing. Great league here. Brody Hanna seems like a great guy. Joe goes back a long time. What a lot of these guys, Brandon Elder out there, Adam Edwards, Michael Blackner, the host of guys over here that call Full Throttle Sim Racing League home. Great bunch of guys, great product here. These super late models at the Bristol Motor Speedway look awfully fun to drive, and we're about to put these things back under green flag conditions. 162 laps here on the board, so maybe an old-fashioned Todd little call less than 40 lap shootout here to settle this thing here. The Battle of Bristol 200.
Yeah, like a Friday or Saturday night short track racing here. Green flag is in the air. Loud pedal is down, and Siaka with a good start in that number 2 machine. Look at that, 3 car lengths over Brody Hanna in that 62 machine. So Brody Hanna going to have to try to chase him down. Blackner running in that 3rd spot in that number 22 machine, trying to look through the field to see where the 06 went, because he went down on pit road. He's in that 4th spot, but way, way, way behind here. 1 lap down here in that 06 machine.
Yeah, way, way back. Looks like his night for contention may be done here, as this may come down to the 3 drivers left to the lead lap. Landon Siaka trying to extend that advantage to turns over 1 and 2 now, and sprinting down the back straightaway. Brody Hanna right there, the 62, trying to let him not get away. It's about 10 car lengths, Todd, as they hit turn number 1. 2 cars starting to make a little bit of distance.
Yeah, those 2 cars starting to make a little bit of a distance on the 22 of Blackner. Blackner trying to catch these guys, but quite a bit of difference. Already 2.447 seconds between Blackner and Siaka in that number 2 machine. So it's interesting. Even Siaka's putting quite a bit of distance between himself and Brody Hanna in that one. Now it's 1.214 and 3.095 back to Blackner. Those 3 cars left on the lead lap. Logan Runyon running in that 4th spot. 5th right now is the best Ladak in that number 7 machine. So he's 2 laps down, but he's running in 5th, so he's staying out there. Tristan has helped him out. He's inside the top 5. His yellow flag going to fly once again, Phil, and it looks like it's for the 06 of Logan Runyon.
Yeah, the 06 of Runyon has gone around pointing the wrong direction, so that's a developing situation there. Caution now for the 6th time this evening, as we're going to put 170 laps up on the board next time around. So we're just setting the stage up for just another old-fashioned, short track Friday, Saturday night style shootout here, on a Monday night, live edition here Monday night on the Full Velocity Network. Here 7 nights a week. If you'll have us, we'll be out here. Whatever you got sim racing out there, book your date now at fullvelocitynetwork.com and be part of the ultimate esport experience, just like these guys at the Full Throttle Sim Racing League tonight here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But Joe Allen, 6th caution flag of the night, and Logan Runyon, we saw he was fast early, but he's had a struggle of it through the second half of this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, that number 06 machine just came into troubles about halfway through, and, with this wreck that I'm about to show, they just continue and continue for him, unfortunately. We'll slow this down as they battle down into turn 3 here with that number 7 machine. 7 machine just comes up the hill. I don't know if he just got tight, didn't realize the 06 was there, just smashed right into him, and he goes over on the lid, back down onto 4 wheels. I think our flip count is officially at 1 in the iRacing sim, guys. So that number 06 machine, just unfortunate. Logan Runyon, just nothing he could do. Almost contact with, I believe, his teammate there, Landon Siaka there as he come flying by. Had no idea that the 06 was there. So almost collected his own teammate in the accident as well, which would have been devastating for those two guys. But yeah, just unfortunate for the 06 guys. He was doing so well early on in this race. And, you know, this just goes back to what we talk about. This race, or 200 laps at Bristol, it's not easy. It's a race of attrition. And, you know, you got to go out there and you got to survive these things. And unfortunately, it's just not been going Landon's or Logan's way tonight. So unfortunate for that 06. But back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, and Todd, talking about short track racing, I know it's different for you being on the dirt, but how much does a place like a Bristol, 200 laps, as Joe said, it is not easy whatsoever. How much does keeping your focus the whole night, come into effect like this? Because, turning the fast laps they're doing at Bristol, it's got to be much like you do on the short tracks with the action that goes as fast. How much does focus go into a place like this?
Oh, focus is good. You got to focus on the track. These yellow flags do not help you focus. I'll tell you, any type of short track racing, it's rhythm. It's all about the rhythm tracks. You're in your rhythm, you're in the game. The green flag is out, and you're hitting your marks. These yellow flags, they throw a monkey wrench into it, Phil. It takes you out of your rhythm, and it makes you make mistakes. And hopefully Siaka is better than that here. And Brody wants him to make mistakes. So, but like I said, it's a rhythm type of track. Short tracks are rhythm, and hopefully these guys don't get out of the rhythm. And this yellow flag did not take them out. And Brody and the number 2 Siaka, those top 2 guys still have the number 22 of Blackner right there with them. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out there, Phil. 173 laps in, of 227 laps to go.
All right, so call this outside of 25 lap to go. Monday night shootout at the Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready for the restart. Landon Siaka, the number 2, the 62 of Brody Hanna, Michael Blackner. Those 3 drivers left in the lead lap with 25 laps remaining. Green flags in the air. Siaka and that black and blue car to the low side. The 62 of Brody Hanna, that Bojangles machine, put the 62 there, Todd, with a power move out to the race lead as they hit turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like Brody Hanna and that number 62 machine, he tapped the wall just a little bit. Power move on the outside around, kind of took Siaka's top groove away from him. As now Siaka back up to the top side. He nails the outside wall just a little bit. Sparks flying here to Bristol Motor Speedway, but Brody out front and that number 62 machine. Now Siaka trying to chase him down here. About a car length and a half here. Down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Siaka on the top side.
Yeah, he's going to try to run that top side. Brody running more of the middle side there, keeping it leaned up to the high side, not jumping it too high. But Siaka using every ounce of the racetrack that high lane has to offer all over the racetrack. Now looks like he may have running room there. He's going to pull alongside, race for the lead down the front straightaway.
Race for the lead, Siaka now to the lead. Here comes Brody down to the bottom side once again. The 62, he's going to give up just a little bit. Looks like the number 62 machine got a tad bit loose there coming off the corner. He's still going to run in second, about 3-4 car lengths between himself and Siaka. Siaka, your race leader in that number 2 machine.
Siaka, the race leader. Brody Hanna trying to do something, maybe mount another late race charge here. It's 2 car lengths. He'll drive it deep to the low side into turn number 3. Washes up the racetrack, off corner exit of turn 4. It's about 3 to 4 car lengths at all, but can he close this gap in, Todd? 20 laps remaining at the line.
Yeah, 20 laps remaining at the line. Siaka still about 3 car lengths in control of this race over Brody Hanna in that number 62 machine. Meanwhile, Blackner quite a ways back there in that third spot. Blackner 1.722 back there in that number 22 machine. So those guys running away and hiding. It's going to be a battle between those two. If this stays green flag, it's going to be between Brody Hanna and Siaka in that number 2 machine.
Certainly does, and looks like there may be only 5 drivers left on the racetrack. Looks like Paul Strickland's the 94 may have come to a premature end here. Just toward the tail end of this thing. Well, the 94 is back on the racetrack, so he was on pit road. Thought the hood was up on that thing. Now 12 laps down in that 9 laps down rather in the 6th position. 3 left on the lead lap. It is still Logan Siaka. Does he have enough left? Can he maintain that race advantage over Brody Hanna. Brody's starting to drift back just a little bit there, Todd. 3 or 4 car lengths. He's right there, but is there enough time? Does he have enough race car to make a late race charge? 15 laps remaining at the line.
Yeah, 15 laps remaining. Just looking at lap times here, Siaka, 15.22 as they flashed by the line there real quick. Hanna, 15.107. He's indeed faster than Siaka. Can he pull up and close up that gap here? 15.064. Where Siaka 15.096, so a tad bit faster once again there, Phil. So he is closing the gap just a wee bit here.
Yeah, closing it just a little bit more and a little bit more. But as we get to the closing laps, how about the Attaboy Award tonight? Abbas Laddick in that number 7 machine out there all night long. He's been about a lap down for about the last 150 laps, but he's been out there being a good soldier. 2 laps down, currently in that 4th spot. You know, just been out there keeping the 7 car clean, making laps, and that's all you got to do at a place like Bristol, Todd. If you don't have the fastest car, log laps, beat the attrition, and like our friend Abbas in the number 7, looks like he's poised for a really good finish here. Currently 4th. He's got 2 laps on 5th place running Logan Runyon, so Abbas looking like he's going to have a great finish here tonight on Full Velocity.
Yeah, looking like he's going to have a good finish. Also, another guy that's out there just running around that 16 machine of Adam Edwards. Adam Edwards, 4 laps down to the rears. He's running inside the top 5 there, and he is in 5th. He's the 5th car on the Speedway, but 4 laps down, still soldiering around, and that's the type of thing I like to see in sim racing. Yes, your laps down. Why not stay out there, log some laps in, get that track position, and actually try to finish this race out. So that's stuff I like to see here, Phil.
Oh, absolutely. You're just going to go out there, you soldier on, you make the most of an evening. You may not have the fastest car, but it's a badge of honor to go out there and finish 200 laps at Bristol, you know, especially bring that thing home in the top 5. You got to feel accomplished anytime, you know, you can do that. And hats off to those 2 guys running in the top 5, soldiering on, as are our other competitors out on the racetrack there. Paul Strickland still out there making laps. In the number 94, he looks like he is 6th. Looks like Logan Runyon has called it a night in the 06. That car behind the wall, so Logan will finish up 7th here tonight. So just precious few cars left on the racetrack. 3 of them on the lead lap here, Todd, as we're approaching here 194 laps on the board next time around. It is still Landon Siaka, your race leader. Brody Hanna has not gone away by any stretch of the imagination. It's about 4 to 5 car lengths as they work their way off of turn 4.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 car lengths, and something happens to Siaka. Siaka now backs out of it. He's moved down to 2nd in the number 2 machine. Something happened to Siaka. Maybe it jumped out of gear there, put Brody Hanna to the lead. That's a developing story. He hit the wall as the number 2 machine of Siaka. So tough break for Siaka. And I tell you what, Hanna is the benefactor there in that number 62 machine.
And Michael Blackner, he is right there on the back bumper of both of them. Looks like he's got the run. He's going to also get around Siaka. So late in this going, the 2 look to be the class of the field. Looks like he's may have burned that right rear tire off a little bit there, Todd. That car looking evil off of corner exit. Landon Siaka falling back, but 2 to go at the line. Brody Hanna, our current race leader. Michael Blackner may not be out of this thing whatsoever. He is 3 car lengths and running the low side. He is closing off of turn 2.
Yeah, Michael Blackner in the number 22 machine. Where did he come from? That's the award he's going to get here tonight. Michael Blackner down on the bottom side of the Speedway. Got the number 62 of Brody Hanna up top. Popsicle 6 in the air. 2 laps to go around the Bristol Motor Speedway and side-by-side battle down the back straightaway into turn 3.
Into turn 3, Blackner the 22 on the low side. Brody Hanna to the bottom. White flag in the air. One more trip around the Bristol Motor Speedway. Who is it going to be? Brody Hanna, the 62 up high, the 22 of Michael Blackner down low to turn 3. Who's it going to be, Todd?
Blackner down on the bottom side, Hanna up top. Hanna hits the wall. It's going to be Blackner at the line. Blackner going to win this race here tonight. Oh, wow, the number 22 of Blackner bringing it home after Brody Hanna hit the outside wall. He was trying so hard to hold him off and not going to be able to do it as Blackner picks up the win in the number 22. Michael Blackner winning this race here this evening.
What an awesome race there. I don't think anybody saw that coming with about 15 laps to go, that issues with the 2 car of Landon Siaka would happen. Brody Hanna would take the lead. And where did Michael Blackner come from? He put himself in position there, Todd, and sometimes that's all you have to do. What a great play, great job by Michael Blackner. He's going to go to victory lane. He wins the battle at Bristol.
Yeah, he does definitely win the Battle of Bristol here, and fireworks going off in the background. But Michael Blackner picking up the win here this evening. He's burning it down here on the front straightaway. Michael Blackner, Brody Hanna finishing up in that second spot in the number 62. Third was the number 2 of Siaka. Fourth is Ladak in that number 7 machine. Edwards finishes up 5th. 6th is Paul Strickland Jr. Logan Runyon finishes 7th. Andrew Packer 8th. 9th is Gary Schilling. Brandon Elder finished 10th. Levi Poland 11th. Barry Hines is 12th. 13th was Marvin Tiermere Jr. in that 13th position. And 14th was Matthew Alamoni in that number 24 machine.
All right, guys, sorry about that. Just getting these guys all squared away, the post-race show, making sure we can talk to our normal top 3 finishers as we do here every time on the air on Full Velocity here, talking to our top 3. Michael Blackner burning it down, going to bring the 22 to victory lane. Brody Hanna going to finish up to the second spot, but I'm going to throw it down to Todd Stanton. I think he's going to try to catch up with our third place finisher here tonight, that being Landon Siaka in the number 2. Todd, let's see if you can't talk to Landon.
Yeah, indeed. I've caught up with driver the number 2, Landon Siaka. Siaka, I tell you what, Landon, it was a great race. It looked like you hit the wall just a little bit there. You had some good exchanges here with Logan Runyon here early on in the going, and then you seemed like the class of the field, and then just things happened here at the end of that race.
Yeah, I really think Logan would have ended up running that race if he didn't have that pit road penalty that put him a lap down. He was definitely better than I was. I mean, we're teammates. We got the same setup, but he's a little better here than I am. This isn't one of my favorite racetracks, but when he got that penalty, I figured I pretty much had it. And then, I don't know, something happened to him, and I couldn't see him out of the corner, and I hit the wall. And I think it got enough damage where it did something to the motor because I was only running on about 6 cylinders there the last 25 laps.
You look like you pretty much had it locked up there at the end of that race, and then all of a sudden just something went amiss on that number 2 machine, and Michael Blackner coming out of nowhere ends up winning this race here this evening. You guys put on a whale of a show here tonight, though. Nothing to be ashamed of, bringing home a podium finish here on the Full Velocity Network, though.
Yeah, just the setup there a little bit at the end. I think some of the damage just made it a little too loose, little undrivable, but I'll take a 3rd place finish.
Well, Landon, I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank whoever you'd like to thank here this evening.
Oh, really? I only have one person to thank, and that's Logan Runyon. I mean, he works his tails off on these sets, and they're usually pretty on point. And if it wasn't for some misfortunes, I think we'd have probably finished 1-2. Thanks to Brody and everybody here at Full Throttle Sim Racing and you guys. It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys put on a whale of a show there, Landon, and hopefully we'll see you back here on the Full Velocity Network. And again, congratulations on your 3rd place finish tonight.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to throw it down to Phil. Phil, who is caught up with our 2nd place finisher, driver the number 62, Brody Hanna.
Yeah, I'm down here with the driver of the Bojangles machine, Brody Hanna. Brody 2 laps short, a 2-car having issues, and man, I'm sure you wanted that thing 2 laps less. You looked like you may have had the car to get to victory lane. Did you know Michael had that run to maybe get around you at the end? That was an awesome race and 1 spot short.
Well, I was watching Michael. He was running 3rd there for the longest. I didn't know he had the speed, to be honest. It seemed like every time we took off, it would be me in the 2 car. And then Michael, there at the end, I don't know where he came from. I started over driving the car. I saw him coming, and I started over driving the car. And the team said, bring back the steering wheel or the checkered flag. Well, unfortunately, I brought back the steering wheel. It crashed there hard on the front stretch.
Now, Joe asked me in my other ear to ask you about the nickname Mr. Consistency. Where we can get that from?
That would be something that somebody else came up with. I just, the thing is, and I'm sure you saw it tonight, I just kind of bide my time. We had the 06 and the 2 were the class of the field tonight. They were the fastest. So at the start there, I just kind of let them go, and I could kind of hang with them as they went. But I also saw the 2-car having issues in the corner, so I just wanted to hang out and see if I could make something happen there at the end.
Well, you certainly did. You had a great showing. I agree. Those two cars definitely the fastest two tonight. But we knew the Bojangles car was there. That number 62, awesome looking piece. Now Joe says that paint job goes back a long time. So cool to see that thing have a good run, man. But I want to give you the microphone one more time. Our first trip over here to the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. We certainly hope to come back and do this again. This was certainly a blast. But give a shout out to all your friends, your fans, your sponsors, how anybody can find you guys to come race with you. The floor is all yours, man. Plug it away.
Well, as you saw tonight, we had a great group of guys. They really knew what they were doing out there, having some great side-by-side racing. And first off, I do want to say congratulations to Michael Blackner, because I'm telling you, that kid is awesome. And if he sticks with it, he's really going to be really good. But I just got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Thanks for the guys that showed up tonight for the race. And if any of the guys watching are interested, go to www.ftsr.net. Sign up, come run with us. We'd love to have you.
Well, certainly a great racing league, and hope to come back with Brody once again from all of us at Full Velocity. Thanks for having us again this evening, and man, maybe next time we do this again, we can see you in victory lane. But good job well done, and thanks again for having us, man. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, one short. We're getting there.
That's right. Only one place to go from here, and that's forward in the victory lane. But that's where we're going to send the party to. We're going to get down the victory lane to our buddy, the Jet Joe Allen, I'm sure, who is a very happy race car driver down there. Michael Blackner winning the Battle of Bristol 200, Joe.
I have, guys. I've run down here into our little elevated victory lane like it is down here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I've caught up with a long-time old buddy. It's been years and years and years. Michael Blackner, congratulations. You came out of nowhere like you usually do. Mr. Consistency, tell us about your race, buddy. It's nice to see you.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, it was hard fought. I spent the last couple weeks working on the setup, and everything I did, it just... First 20 laps, it'd be fine, but as soon as I hit 20, it started breaking loose. I trialed and errored it as much as I could, and it wouldn't give anything until yesterday when we had an extra practice session. I figured, I'm going to try something different. I lowered track bar, and it seemed to make the difference. I just tried not overdriving it, too.
Absolutely. Tire conservation is the name of the game at a track like Bristol. You know that as well as anyone else. 200 laps, it's a race of attrition. And I think, I don't speak for everybody, but I don't think anybody thought that you were going to be anywhere near in contention for a win there. I mean, the two car in the 06 and HB, Brody Hanna in the 62 were really the class of the fields, and you just kind of bide your time, and you saved your equipment, and you put yourself there at the end of the race. And that's the Michael Blackner that I remember racing against years and years ago in NR 2003, and you're doing it again here today as well. So awesome job out there. Congratulations on your win. You are the inaugural FTSR Full Velocity Network winner, and I know these guys want to have us come back over here a couple more times to do some more races, and I hope you show up for those too. But again, congratulations, buddy. That's awesome to see an old friend of mine like you win this race. First time on the network here, so congratulations from all of us. But Michael, I'm going to open the airwaves to you, buddy. I know you probably got some fans, some friends, family, anybody else that's out there that might be watching, and anybody that you want to thank that helped you get you here. The mic and the floor is all yours.
I'd just like to thank all my friends and family for their support. They know the way my work schedule is out in the real world. They know I don't get much time to myself, so if any of them are watching, I'm just glad that you got to see an actual good put on from me, because this was never my best thing. I've never been good at Bristol. I'd like to thank Dodge, Quadratac, and my girlfriend Shauna. I know she's watching, so I'm just happy to be able to win first race in years, actually. It's been a while since I actually did anything like this before.
Well, that's awesome, Michael. Congratulations again, buddy. Awesome to see an old friend like you in victory lane. And, hope life outside of sim racing is treating you well. And, congratulations once again. And we look forward to catching up with you guys here a little bit later on. But, guys, that's our race winner, Michael Blackner, the inaugural Full Throttle Sim Racing winner here on the Full Velocity Network. But, Phil, I think you've caught up with one more special person, a guy that's well known around the iRacing community, one of the proponents and a huge supporter of Full Throttle Sim Racing. He's also a guy that does a lot with Vidane Racing and, another Connecticut native that you're probably a little familiar with. So who'd you catch up with, Phil?
Well, we've got a hold of Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the Full Velocity booth. Paul it's Phil from Full Velocity, buddy. You have a copy.
10-4. How you doing, Phil?
We're doing fantastic. The Pride of East Haddam, Connecticut. You know, some not too far from me up here is I call Thompson, Connecticut, currently home. So not too far from you, my friend. But great run for you tonight. Out there surviving, if you can call that, as we talked about. Bristol is always a place. It's a battle of attrition. You got out there, you logged laps. Yes, you were 9, 10 laps down. You pulled the top 5 finish off. I'm sure you got to be happy with that.
It really depends on how you look at it. I mean, throughout the week, I logged probably 1,000 laps in practice here, and we really had, I'd say, probably a top 4 or 5 car. It was really good in practice, and I guess I just didn't practice on the long runs enough because we got to 30, 40 laps in, and it just got too loose. The tail end of the car wanted to come around, and I couldn't hold on to it, so I could barely get back in the throttle. So we were just, like you said, we were just trying to survive. It's a double points night here at Bristol for the broadcast race with you guys, so wanted to survive. Didn't want to tear it up too bad. Looks like we just got a bunch of bent up sheet metal, so we should be all right.
Well, we talk about bent up sheet metal. I'm going to bring that full circle to something else I know you're really involved with, and a guy from the Northeast would certainly have to know this. RentARacecar.com. I know you guys out there, you lease out race cars for anybody to go out there and try their hand at, real life driving. I know years ago you guys are very active at the Stafford Speedway, a place I called a workplace for a couple of seasons. But for our viewers out there that may not be familiar with Rent a Race Car, give us some insight what that's all about and how guys can maybe find that in this area.
Yeah, absolutely. Being that you said that first, I got to start off with giving the Rent a Race Car guys a shout. I know Gary Spinato, one of the co-owners, is watching right now down at the shop. So what's going on, Gary? But yeah, if you want to check out the website, it's rentaracecarne.com. You can check them out on Facebook. Just search for Rent a Race Car and they'll pop right up. It's a pretty cool deal. I've been working with those guys on and off for 5 or 6 years now. Actually, the first time I ever went to Stafford Speedway, I was in a dare stock race. I'd never been to the track before, and I've been to the track hundreds of times since then. I'm there for every Sizzler and final, and I try and get there as many weeks that I can. But anybody that's ever interested in actually trying to get into one of these race cars, it's not like a get in and just kind of putt around and follow somebody else. You're showing up at the racetrack. You're getting your temporary NASCAR license. You're getting into the dare stock. You're doing 2 practice sessions. You're doing the heat race, and then you're jumping into the feature. So it's a really cool deal. It's $650 for the rental with a $500 deposit. If you don't bend any of the wheels or radiator or anything like that, you get your $500 deposit back. And Rubbins Racing, they're not really worried about the sheet metal or anything like that. It's just anything major, and you get that deposit right back that same night.
Yeah, it's a cool program, and they're quality pieces. I've seen those Rent a Race Cars go out there and compete for championships in that same dare stock division. So it's a cool deal. RentARacecar.com. Check Paul and all the guys out. Gary Spinato, and I haven't heard of many, many years. I know he's been around the Stafford headquarters for a long time. Good to hear Gary's name once again, and hope to see him watching out there, and we all say hello. But, Paul, great to talk to you here the first time in Full Velocity, and, man, I hope to do this again with you guys again real soon. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did an awesome job. I kind of had the booth, kind of had the broadcast playing in my ear a little bit during the race. It wasn't too distraction. We won't put too much blame on you guys for my poor racing, but everything looked good. Everything looked sharp, and Joe Allen, it's always good to catch up with him, and he sounds great in the broadcast booth along with you. And yeah, we'll definitely be back. We got a couple more broadcast races throughout the season, and I hear tell that Verdane Racing League might be coming back this winter, so that might be something to keep an eye out for.
Well, we certainly look forward to that, too. Well, Paul, great to talk to you, man. Hope to do this again, and great job tonight. Bristol's a tough place, but you brought that thing home, little sheet metal banged up, but good race by you guys. It was a lot of fun. Thank you again.
Thank you. I'm going to go get me a beer.
All right, buddy. Paul Strickland Jr. having a great run of it tonight. And Todd, what more can you say? The Bristol Motor Speedway, Full Throttle Sim Racing League, great bunch of guys. Can't wait to come back here and do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, fantastic job by all these guys out here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, Full Throttle Sim Racing. Great place to be. These guys put on one whale of a show, and I tell you what, these guys drove the wheels off those super late models here this evening. 200 laps, and attrition, yes, did play a key role, key determining factor, but it's interesting things that happened here tonight. But all in all, when the smoke settled and the dust cleared, Michael Blackner picked up the win here tonight.
Yeah, Michael Blackner picking up the big win here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the Battle of Bristol 200. We'll put the period on that. We look forward here to our work on the Full Velocity Network. We come back at you this coming Friday. We pay a visit to our friends at the Fast Track Elite Sim Racing League. Catch up with Joe Morabito, Denny Daniels, JT Mayhew, back in the NASCAR Racing 2-on-3 community where we've called home for such a long time, all of us as racers, and here through the last couple of months on FVN. Going to be a great event. I believe we're doing some trucking at the Talladega Super Speedway, so look out for that. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the airtime, so check us out this coming Friday night, September the 1st, and of course our full schedule, and there's a lot of events scheduled here, and if you'd like to get your event booked, I urge you to do it now because dates are filling up fast from here all the way out through the months of November. I can't believe how booked up we are, but head over to fullvelocitynetwork.com, lock your date in now, and be part of the ultimate esport experience. So until next time, for the Jet Joe Allen doing an awesome job in the booth, the control booth as always, Todd Stanton alongside my longtime partner. Great to have him back alongside. My name is Phil Lacasse. We'll see you next time with another installment of Balls Out No Doubt, high octane action right here on the Full Velocity Network. Good night.